Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to contest of tonight's AM3. And tonight they will be taking on the 5.412 kilometer, 19 corner, and 3 DRS zone circuit of Miami International Autodrome. I am the Johnny Damon, and alongside me tonight is Cost Mindset. How we doing tonight, Mindset?
Doing great, doing great. Looking forward to a wonderful and hopefully sunny Miami race today. Looks like in quali it's nice and bright, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, Miami can definitely lead to some weather changes, so during the course of the Grand Prix, we might be able to see some wet weather, which would make things very, very interesting here for the AM3 drivers tonight.
Yeah, I guess we'll go over standings here as we bring up the constructors. Williams taking an even bigger lead in the constructors after Nick AC secures his third win in a row. 37 points ahead of Haas in second place. Alfa Romeo third. Alpha Tauri had a strong start to the season, kind of falling back towards the middle of the pack there in P4. Ferrari jumping up a spot ahead of McLaren, Aston Martin right there. Red Bull P8, Mercedes 9, and Alpine. Still, sadly, no points for them, but Alpine does have a second driver today, so it might be looking good for Alpine there, hopefully.
And I'm sure the Alpine team would love to finally put a point on the board, as that has been something they've been trying to achieve all season. And, by the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like they have their own team principal. It sounds like they got Gunter Steiner over there.
There we go, though. Here's the driver standings. Nick AC taking a 16-point lead ahead of Red Arrow again after his third race win in a row. He's putting on a performance. He's in a very good form right here. Very good pace for him. We'll see where he puts it in quali here in a minute. But Paul in P3 for him. He's only secured P3 three third places, but that's all you need. You just got to keep consistent, get podiums, get good points, and you'll be up there. He's 57 points behind Nick AC, Pablo P4, SR Frame 5, Speedy Bullet 6, Wit J 7, M1K 8, Gru 9, Zenki jumping up three spots to P10 after I believe he finished second last week in Azerbaijan. Good for him. Chipman 11, Days Freak 12, Easy 10, 13th, ASAP Loggy 14th, Waffle Raptor P15 for him, jumping up four spots, getting 4 points in Azerbaijan for him. Entree 16, Goose 17, Angel 18th, Unkempt Arc 19, and Shorzy. He's no longer racing in this. I'm not sure if he's racing anymore, but he's down there. But going on to qualifying action now. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, so in qualifying here, we got about 13 minutes left, and Red Arrow has set a provisional pole at a 128.3. So he is sitting about 3/10 of a gap to Pablo MP2, who has less than a tenth up to SR Frame, but Chipman's right behind him by 1 thousandths of a second there as well in the P4 position. And then M1K will round out your top five.
Yeah, good lap between these the top five. Only about less than a second between top five, or less than a second between the top six here. So starting off tight here. Looks like we got ASAP Loggy coming to the pits. Entree gonna be looking like he's gonna finish. No, he's blinking. He goes straight off in the last corner, seeing if maybe he's gonna get a good exit for his second run here. No, he's gonna dive into the pits. But we got an Alpine of not Angel. Churro. We'll just call him Churro. Going to the pits. Everybody getting out of the way for the Red Bull of Waffle Raptor. Days Freak's not here today. Yeah, everybody's going to the pits. I guess everybody's first run is done.
Yeah, I am on board with Whitjay here as he's working his way through the horseshoe now into turn 14, which carries you under the bridge of the chicane and then off the exit of turn 16 and down the long straight here. He's got the DRS flap wide open. He's going to make a run all the way into turn 17. Probably going to top out at about 210 miles an hour all the way down in second gear. He's back on the throttle off the exit very early up through the gears, making his way around the final corner. Across the line he comes, and he's up into the P7 position with a 129.609.
Yeah, and if you guys want to vote for the prediction tonight, it's how many constructors are going to be in the top five? 3, 4, or 5 in the top five. It looks like 5 constructors is the favorite here. Even I think going for the most is pretty risky. You're gonna have 5 different teams all in the top 5. But looking right now, I mean, we do have 5. We have not 9 constructors in the top 9, so it's definitely very possible. And looks like we got Angel in the Alpine going to be finishing his first lap of the session. No, he's actually going to jump into the pits for him. Paulin coming down the back straight right here. Game says he has a purple sector too. Can never know to believe it or not. Opens the DRS. Paulin going to look for a podium here. Maybe get his long-awaited win for him on the top step. Today could be the day. Coming to the line though, Paulin. Good last corner for him. Not a lot of wheel spin. Gonna bring it close to the wall here. Jumped up to P6 right behind his teammate. 2 and a bit tenths behind him. Good lap from him. Looks like Pablo plays. Gonna be starting his second lap of the session, followed by the Red Bull. Not the Red Bull. The Williams of Nick AC. There you go. The 2 championship contenders, 1 and 2. Nick AC just about a tenth and like 700s back from Red Arrow's championship rival here. Hopefully we can get a good fight between even the top 3, maybe the top 4.
Yeah, great lap by Nick. He was able to get a nice run down the long backstretch. Not quite close enough to put him on top though, but I'm sure he is pretty happy with a P2 for the time being, as that will be a good starting position for the 29 laps that we will have here in Miami.
Yeah, looks like everybody's just starting their lap. Closest person to finish their next lap looks to be Pablo. We'll see how far up he is to the split. This is probably one of the hardest sections on the course for any driver here. Got to either hit the curbs as much as possible to get the rotation or not get the rotation to the curbs. But Pablo, 3 and a bit tenths up for Pablo. This could be enough for pole position here. As it stands, let's see if Pablo can get a good last corner right here. Brakes just about the 100-meter board. Gets the car turned in nicely. Bring it close to the wall to carry as much speed as possible. Coming to the line. Let's see where he puts it. Yeah, P1. Just, 200ths and a bit in front of Red Arrow there. Good lap for Pablo. It's like Chipman going to be crossing the line here. Jumps up to P4. About a 10th and 800th improvement for him. Going to be having the Mercedes of ASAP Loggy about a second up on his time. Only jumps up to P9. This is very tight though. If he gets about 4 tenths, he's almost P6 for him. But I mean, the top 5 covered by almost 4 tenths. Yeah, 4 tenths exactly. So tight between the top 5 here. Electric Entree going to be starting his next lap, as well as Zenke right behind. The driver who got P2 in the last race. Beat down, saying watch out for the Red Bull today of Waffle Raptor. Let's see what he can do. Red Arrow's going to dive into the pits, get his new softs on with 5 minutes left in the session. Going to be going for his last lap here soon. Pablo's also going to dive into the pits, followed by Angel. No, Angel's going to be starting his lap. 6 minutes, 15 seconds left. M1K just slightly up on his lap, coming through the tight section coming up. His teammate crossing the line, though. 3/10 up. Let's see where this will put him. Only move him up one spot right in front of his teammate, but he's right behind everybody else in the top 6.
Yeah, and we still are waiting on 4 drivers here at the bottom to put some times in as Easy 10 just comes across the line in that P12 position.
Oh!
But Angel making his way through Sector 1 and Zenki coming through Sector 3.
Okay, he hit the wall right. Oh, and that's Churro. Hopefully he just doesn't get. Okay, all right.
And Crisp Zip has invalidated his time through the last corner. On board with Zenki here as he's making his way around, opens up that DRS, and he's all the way up into the P3 position. So pretty close qualifying for our top 3 in the time being.
Yeah, SR Frame, I believe, is starting his next lap right here. Yeah, the top 3, very tight between the top 3 after Zenki just put that in here. Only 300s cover him. It's definitely going to be good for the last run. We'll have to keep an eye on all 3 of those drivers. Maybe even Nick AC and Chipman come into play. Maybe Waffle and SR Frame. I mean, it's really tight. You just got to gain about 4 or 5 tenths in your pole.
Yeah, but gaining 4 or 5 tenths in a lap is pretty tough to do, especially at this time where everybody is getting faster lap by lap.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Easy 10 is going to be bringing it into the pits as Angel moves out of the way. They have a Mercedes of Gustavo going to be trying to improve on his lap, starting his lap right now. And Red Arrow on the back straight, getting ready to start his last lap. Going to get those tires nice and warm for him. His teammate, though, coming across the line to start what could be his final lap here.
I am on board with Angel right now off of turn 3. Let's see if he can put a whole lap together here. Really improve out of that 2-minute mark he set the previous lap. But that was actually just his second warm-up lap he was doing to get the tires up a temperature. Making his way down this long middle straight here in Sector 2. Gonna open up that DRS flap heading towards turn 11, which is a heavy braking zone going to the left-hand side. And he hit the apex very well. Now he's making his way through the horseshoe. He does have the Mercedes in front of him. Not exactly sure who that is. Probably could be Gustavo, as we're now making our way off the exit of turn 16 down this long straight. He's getting close enough. He might have a tow on this Mercedes in front of him. Opens up the DRS flap down this long straight heading towards turn 17. He's going to hit the braking zone at about 100 meters. Heavy on the brakes all the way down in second gear. Makes his way off the exit of turn 17. Heading through the nice little right left here across the line and into P11.
Not bad for him. I don't think he'll be too mad at it. He's given himself a shot for some points today, just in front of his teammate. So it looks like, let's see, Red Arrow, a 10th up. That will be enough for pole here. Coming through this middle sector, this hard middle sector here. Definitely the hardest sector on the circuit, I'd say. Let's see how good he takes this tight section here. Going to clip that inside curb. Not really going to touch the outside one right there. Going to stay nice and close to that last curb right there. Gets a good exit. Let's see, 266 tenths up for Red Arrow here. It's definitely enough for pole. Pablo just started his last lap. Pablo, it said 3 tenths up. I don't believe that though, since he just started his lap. But here, let's see where Red Arrow. Let's see the time to beat. There it is, a 28.043. Just barely misses out on the 27s. But Zenke on his outlap, I think Red Arrow and Pablo might have started their laps just a little early. After the Sector 1 split, though, Pablo 240 tenths up. See if he can keep it here. Pablo going to have to get through some traffic here. But he gets out of the way nice and good for him right here. He's a little bit more. He has a Williams right in front of him through this middle sector. Maybe hoping to get a toe here. Hits those curbs really hard for him. Looks to get good rotation. Missed that last apex right there. He lost a little bit of time there. 2 tenths down for him. He has to have a good last corner here. They're going to get out of the way. Pablo going to try and get DRS. Not this. Oh my. He cut that so close. I think he lost more time than he gained right there. He'd be braking late, missing the apex slightly, but going to get on the gas early right here. Coming to the line. Oh, just misses out by 300s. First time around, Pablo was ahead of Red Arrow by 300s. Now Red Arrow's ahead of Pablo by 300s. You can't write that. Zenke starting his last lap. 20 seconds left on the clock, so last laps for everybody here. Everybody crossed the line. I guess we'll go on board with Zenke to see if he can get it done.
Yeah, Zenke is making his way into turn 4 now through the S's of Sector 1. And he
M1K goes P1.
Wow, M1K
Out
with
of
the fastest
nowhere.
lap into the
Jumps down to the
127s.
27s. Good lap for M1K. Definitely wasn't expecting him to be on pole tonight, but great for him. Yeah, Red Arrow's qualifying is over. He will be P2 at the minimum. Nick AC, our championship leader, 4th place. Red Arrow's got to be happy to be starting ahead of him here. I didn't see what Zenke's split was at the first sector. I was too concentrated on M1K going P1. Let's see, Zenke got to have a McLaren in his way here. McLaren's going to be getting in his way, hoping maybe he can get a toe here. Is the McLaren on? He's 5 tenths up. Zenke's going to smash the pole time if the McLaren does not get out of the way. He gets out of the way. He just... No! Oh, no! They go too wide in the last corner. Zenke hits the wall. I don't think Zenke's going to get pole anymore. He does! Oh my god! Zenke somehow, some way gets pole right there after going too wide into the last corner. I think Zenke would have been pole by maybe 2 tenths there if he didn't go too wide there. But M1K going to be coming to the pits, and I think that's quali over right there. Zenke going to be getting a fantastic last lap to have enough time to lose in that last corner to stay pole.
Yeah, great pole lap by Zenke. That was electric entree in the McLaren that was battling him through turn 17 there. Not exactly sure if he's on a lap himself or not. So we will probably end up seeing that go to the stewards, and then they're going to have a nice little word about that. But in the meantime, qualifying is over. Zenke has taken pole with M1K very close behind in the P2 position. Then you got Red Arrow in P3, Pablo Plays in P4.
Yeah, very good quality between everybody. I think Pablo is probably a little mad that he just missed out on P2. I mean, it's very tight here. Pablo 300s behind Red Arrow. I think he would probably argue that he had the time, maybe even for pole. But he's going to be stuck down in P4 there. Not bad for him. Second row behind his championship rival, Red Arrow. Yeah, Nick AC starting P5. Going to have some work to do here, but he did, I believe, go last to first in Azerbaijan, so can never count Nick AC out for wherever he's starting. But our two Alpines, 13 and 15, got some work to do to get their first points of the season. Maybe hoping to get it here in Miami. The American and the Alpine. The new driver, Churro. Be a good story for him.
Oh, we are loading in Here to the Grand Prix.
Let's see.
Let's see what
Is it
we
gonna be
got
rain?
for
No, it's
weather.
perfect.
Is dry here. That just crushes everybody's feelings in the chat, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, we got a very interesting Grand Prix coming up here with the top five all within at least 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths. Actually, I think it might be the top six. So could be a very interesting Grand Prix here. Maybe action go on in the front. Things could probably get a little bit spicy with how the championship is being close at this time. So, what's your take on that?
Sorry, can you say the
Oh,
question again? Oh,
never
all right.
mind.
Oh,
We got
yeah, here we
three,
go.
4, 5 solid red lights, and the lights are out. Go, and it appears Zenki got a great jump off.
Paulin
M1K gets a slow one
gonna
down
drive.
the inside. Battling side by side between Red Arrow and M1K through turn 3, and M1K comes out on top.
Yeah, pretty clean between everybody here. Looks like we had Churi Churro and Gustavo get into it there in the back, but Paul Lynn got a drive-through penalty there. Everybody kept it clean though up front, so that's good for them. Red Arrow, yeah, like you said earlier, losing the battle off the line there to M1K. M1K gonna maybe look to get the move here on Zenki and take back his pole, or not take back, get into the lead of the race here. Around the outside, let's see who breaks later here. Oh, he gets the move done before the corner even goes. Good move for M1K here. Red Arrow going to be looking for the move here. Now everybody's got to keep it clean through this really tight section. I think there's going to be a lot of wings broken here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Everybody seemed to keep clean through there.
Yeah, so Zenki and Red Arrow are hard tires. They're the only two of the three
Nick
drivers
AC.
actually Waffle Raptor up there as well on hard tires. But it appears Nick AC's
Ooh.
making those mediums go to work. He
Yeah.
does lock up into turn 17, but comes out on top for the
Yeah.
P3 position.
Going to get the move done on his championship rival right there. He is in the on the medium tires. We'll go to tires real quick, and there you have it. Zenki, highest up hard runner, as well as Red Arrow, Waffle Raptor P8 on hards, and then Gru and Paulin bring up the rear on hard, or Gru and Entree bring up the rear on hards. Everybody else on mediums, two drivers on softs. M1K, yeah, gonna look to try and use these mediums to his advantage and pull away from Zenki here before DRS turns on. He already almost has the second gap.
Yeah, Zenki was looking for a better exit off of turn 8. He is gonna get have DRS range. So we are on lap 2. DRS will be enabled the next time by. However, we do have a very long DRS train all the way
VSE,
down to Angel in the P9, and oh,
Churi
big
Churro.
incident.
Was there collisions when the VSE came out? I saw that these guys up front got close to each other.
It appears that Churichuro have
Yeah,
lost his
no
full
wing.
front wing, so that is going to bring out the virtual safety car, which is
Fortunate for
now
him.
really kind of benefit some of these hard runners to potentially go from a hard to
Looks like
soft
we're already
strategy.
in. Looks like Nick got a really good run on Zenki here. Gonna go for the move into the last corner here. We'll break later. Nick on that inside line. Zenki gonna try and keep it around the outside. Let's see, giving us the angle here. Yeah, Nick AC is just gonna have the tighter line here. Gonna get the move done. Churi Churro, 3-second time penalty, cutting the corner. But Nick AC gets the move done on Zenki, starting P5. Red Arrow going to be fighting Zenki now into the really tight section. They got to leave room for each other. Nice room for them. Nick AC, P5, like I said, moves up to P2 after lap 3. Good for him. Making a charge on those medium tires. Looks like we got a caution, and Churro retires in the last corner with no wing. I don't know how he did that. No safety car though, fortunately. Pablo gonna be close behind Red Arrow here, as well as SR Frame. DRS is on. See, Zenki did not get DRS. Zenki fell off the back of Nick AC and M1K here. really tight between this midfield here. Wonder how many time penalties are gonna happen this race.
Turn
Especially
14 can definitely lead for that.
yeah, absolutely. DRS right here, second dose of it in the yeah, this lap at least. Looks like SR Frame's gonna be close to Pablo. Not gonna look for the move just yet. Who was that? We got the Williams of Nick AC really close behind M1K here. Gotta have the DRS down the straight. Nick AC fastest lap of the race. Is M1K gonna try and defend it? Going into turn one. What is that angle? M1K goes deep into the corner, keeps it. Nick AC all over the back. This has brought Zenke back into DRS for him. I think M1K is going to be a sitting duck, though, on this back straight.
Yeah, M1K definitely going to be a sitting duck, but them being on the mediums, they want to make the most of the grip, because now the hard tires have creeped back into the picture, beginning with Zenke here on the hard tires in the first stint. So if he can keep up with these guys here in the front, that will give him a great first stint going into his second stint onto a better compound tire. So he will be looking at a picture. In the meantime, Nick AC jumps to the outside going into turn 11, and it appears M1K has defended him through the inside.
Yeah, I wonder how much battery M1K burned right there. These two are so tight to each other through this even tighter section. Impressive from these guys, keeping it clean. Nick AC gets his third dose of DRS this race, or this lap. Yeah, I think Nick AC didn't make the greatest move trying to go for the move into turn one there. Because they are a second ahead of Zenke. If they just work together, get those mediums ahead, they can definitely pull a gap before Zenke's tires come into play here.
Well, Red Arrow did
Oh,
just
and
make a
Pablo!
move down the inside.
Sorry, yeah, Red Arrow makes the move on Zenke. I just saw two guys really close to each other on the wall. Zenke is blinking as Pablo takes advantage of that, makes the move. Pablo spins Red Arrow. Slight spin for them. Gonna allow Zenke and the McLaren to get through. That's gonna be looked at later. Pablo broke a little bit too late trying to get the move on Zenke. But there you go, Zenke, or the top two, 2.5 seconds ahead now because of that little incident right there. Definitely gonna keep on trucking for them. No damage, I believe.
Yeah, your leaders are pulling away. Something happened
Oh!
to Whitjay, and that is going to bring out a safety car.
Whoa, oh,
And it
he lost his
appears,
wing right there.
yeah, Whitjay lost his wing in turn 7 off the inside wall. So the safety car has now come out for the first time here in Miami.
Well, Zenke will definitely be very happy that that came out. Um, I think Pablo and Red Arrow would be too if that caused any damage. I don't think it did. I think it was just a wheel clip right there causing a half spin by Red Arrow. Um, but yeah, let's see if anybody wants to make the move to pit here. I don't think anybody up front will. Maybe one of the back runners go to softs and wait for another safety car because there's bound to be at least another one. So we still have
If
17 drivers in here.
if a front runner wanted to be smart
Oh,
enough and
Nick
understood
AC
the pace they have,
and
they would
M1K.
go in.
Okay, all of our leaders are in except Pablo and Red Arrow. Our top four
I'm
pit right there.
I'm very shocked about the medium runners going into pit lane. I would not have been surprised if Zenke went in to potentially make a medium work to the end of the Grand Prix, but to see all the other medium runners up in the front bots for some new fresh hards, they will potentially make it to the end, but those tires are going to be screaming. So at some point, they might even be thinking about a second stop here. Um, but I mean, Nick AC comes out of pit lane in that P9 position, so about halfway down the grid, just to make up some time to be able to put himself back out in front. Does have a lot of folks in front of him on some older tires, so he has quite a bit of work to do.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at our top four pit right there, especially Zenke. I thought that he would stay out and have those hards work a little bit longer for him. Maybe his hards got a little too hot there, just from all that dirty air following behind those guys. But yeah, Pablo and Red Arrow, you're 1-2 here. Chipman 3, Waffle Raptor 4, Angel 5. Yeah, Alpine up to 5th. He's definitely hoping that he can keep that and score some big points for the first time this season for Alpine. As he gets passed by Chipman. That's him back right there. Oh, looks, we have an end plate right there. Who was, oh, was that Angel? It was Angel. It looks like somehow easy. What is happening? I don't know what's happening with Angel, but Angel lost an end plate here under safety car conditions. Well, I take back everything that I said about getting good points. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he can do something. Angel will dive into the pit stone, get his wing fixed, as well as Chipman. Safety car should go in this lap after everybody's caught up. We will go to tire detail for everybody. And our provisional leader, Nick AC and P7 right there on the fresh hards. M1K also hards. Zenki had to go the mediums, SR frame hards, Loggy hards. Loggy going to be provisional P5, good for him after starting towards the back. Nick AC and M1K move up. Easy 10, let them by, I guess. I don't know what we're doing under safety car, but it's definitely interesting. But yeah, Gru going to be trying to get those hards work as quick as possible to try and move up the field and keep Nick AC and those leaders behind him. See if the safety car calls it. He should do. Here on lap 7, looks like maybe we go one more. I think it might be a late call though. Yeah, there we go. Safety car in. We'll cross the line on lap 8 with just about 21 laps to go. Still a long way to go in this race. Pablo going to be leading off the safety car restart here. Let's see when he goes. He's really slowing the pack up here.
As we are back under green, Pablo is going to lead us into turn 1, well ahead of that Arrow. Waffle Raptor was having a little look down into turn 1, but he was not close enough. As we're making our way through the field, Zenki is trying to get around the outside in turn 2 on easy 10. He does complete that move, moves up into the P8. Frame coming through the inside, off of turn 3, now onto the outside of turn 4, and falls right back into P10.
I'm looking at Nick AC here. He's all over the back of Gru here. Going to be trying to get past him here. M1K knows that, so he's going to try and follow him through here. Let's see if Gru's going to try and burn his battery to stay ahead here. I don't know if that's the smartest. I mean, I think you kind of have to here. Gru going to go defensive, going to cut back to the outside. Nick AC not going to have enough speed to get past him here. If Nick AC gets past him, he should have a free position on his teammate coming up. This is a new teammate, right? Is Crisp Zip usually Nick AC's teammate?
Yeah, Zip is usually here. He just wasn't here last week at Baku. But it looks like Nick got a great run off the exit of turn 16.
Yes,
he is now going to be down to the inside on Gru. Getting the toe from his teammate right in front of him as well. Going to carry him into turn 17. And he is up into that P5, but Haas
Gru hits
to the back of him. and they look good coming off the exit, but Zenke is all over the gearbox at M1K.
Yeah, M1K is shaking his wheel. Maybe he got, I hope he didn't get damaged there. I don't think he did, but Zenke gonna make the move here, gonna leave room. Zenke gonna have the worst line here on the inside, gonna get pinched off right there. Gonna keep, Zenke maybe lost it a little bit, letting SR frame through here. All this fighting is letting Nick AC and his teammate get further ahead to the pack. Somebody goes off there, Gru goes off, letting M1K through. See if SR frame's gonna be definitely wanting to get through here. Getting the better run. I think Gru's hards aren't up to temperature. They're just not working for him yet. Get the move. DRS will be on next lap. M1K going to be trying to join the back of Nick AC and his teammate, which he does. Zenke going to be going around the outside of Gru here. Let's see if he tries to make... Oh, ASAP Loggy with a move around the outside. What a move from ASAP Loggy right there. Easy 10, 3-second penalty down there in P12. Not going to be looking good for him. But ASAP Loggy on a charge here. Going to be looking to get the move done on Gru before DRS opens. Not going to have enough. Going to stay behind this lap. Really tight between those guys there under braking. DRS is activated. Pablo has kind of run away here. 2.1 seconds ahead of it. Red Arrow in P2. Wolfraptor staying up there in P3. Let's, Nick AC, Crisp Zip, M1K and SR Frame really close together. I didn't even realize the two Williams switched around. Crisp Zip gonna be looking to defend and lose M1K as much time as possible to Nick AC to help his teammate. Maybe a little bit too much time. He went really slow through there. They're going to be about 1.6 seconds back. I don't know why M1K keeps doing that. That's very dangerous. Why he keeps shaking his wheel or whatever he's using there.
Controller.
Is he doing that on purpose, or is that just how controller is? Looks like
That's
SR Frames
kind of how controller is. On board with ASAP Loggy as he goes down the inside of Chris Zip using the DRS and a little bit of ERS on the long back straight, but Chris Zip is actually going to maintain that P7 position into turn 17. In the meantime, ASAP Loggy gives him a little bit of a switchback here off the exit and takes that P7 position.
Yeah, ASAP Loggy really moving his way through the field here. I think his hards are really working for him. It's like M1K is just out of DRS range, but I think he'll get in here with Nick AC fighting with Wolfraptor right here. Especially through these S's on Wolfraptor's older tires. Going to be holding up Nick AC. And yeah, M1K gets into the DRS nice and easy. Gains about 4 and a bit tenths there. See, Nick AC will be making the move here on this back straight. DRS open, already side by side for him. Gonna get the move done.
Yeah, Nick AC is trying to run away from M1K here, but M1K does not want to let him get too far as he looks to the outside of Raptor in the horseshoe. Decides wisely not to go for the move. Coming through the chicane of turn 14 and 15. Looking off the exit of turn 16, now down the long back straight. M1K is going to have the DRS, and we do have a yellow flag, and that appears to be Whitjay around in the horseshoe of Sector 2. Down the straight we go, M1K down to the inside of Waffle Raptor. Into the braking zone, Waffle Raptor tries to outbrake him around the outside. Goes a little too deep off the circuit, and M1K has taken the P4 position.
Yeah, luckily M1K left just enough room for Waffle to fit between the wall and his car right there. Or else that could have been really bad. Both drivers got away from that pretty lucky right there, but M1K now going to be on to the chase for Nick AC, and now these new tires are definitely coming into play for everybody. I think once Nick gets past the Red Arrow, it's just going to be a matter of time before he gets Pablo. And just while we've been talking, Red Arrow's kind of maintained the gap to Pablo, maybe pulled him in just slightly. Let's see if Nick AC is going to go for the move here.
Yeah, at this point in the Grand Prix, if I was Nick AC, I'd just continue to ride in the DRS and try and rebuild up some of that ERS, as he is down to almost 10%, making his way through the horseshoe here in Sector 2. He's still on the rear diffuser of Red Arrow, not really giving him enough space for any errors, as making our way into the chicane off the exit of turn 16. And now Nick AC is going to have DRS only 2.5 tenths off the gearbox of Red Arrow. Got the rear DRS flap wide open, and Red Arrow give him the lift down the straight. Nick AC to the outside, complete the move into the braking zone. Red Arrow was peeking down to the inside, wisely chooses not to go for the move, and now off the exit of turn 17, Nick AC is 1.7 seconds back from Pablo.
Yeah, looked like Crisp or Zenki and Waffle Raptor had a moment there. You said Nick AC was down to about 10% of battery, yeah?
Correct.
And then I did see SR Frame was blinking. What's Pablo? What's Pablo at? This Angel gets a speeding penalty.
Pablo is at 65%.
So yeah, what's M1K at as well? Because I think M1K has been pushing
22.
okay. So yeah, M1K has been pushing kind of hard to stay there. Pablo's 60% going to be keeping the battery. I think Pablo's just going to save and let Nick AC pass him and then save even more battery while just staying in DRS, pulling him, because Nick AC is definitely going to have to make one more stop here if there's no more safety cars. I mean, he doesn't have to, but those tires are definitely going to be very bad towards the end of the race here, as Nick AC's made quick work of that 2-second gap, already down to 6 tenths for him. M1K gonna be falling back from Red Arrow. Looks like maybe he's lost some pace on his tires there. And here we go, Nick AC gonna be making the move down into this last corner here. Gonna stay behind.
Yeah, at this point, Pablo dives into pit lane. Nick AC 30 stays out on the circuit. He does have the DRS down into turn 1. Pablo is going to come out here. Down the field he goes. In the meantime, he will be on the precious tire compound. He's now hoping that no safety car comes out. Zenki also jumped in as well to get off those 8-lap old mediums. And he goes to a fresh set of mediums to the end.
Yeah, Pablo's definitely going to be very quick on those tires here. He's definitely going to be hoping for no more safety cars from this point on, as Zenki and Crisp Zip, they have pit as well. Yeah, Nick AC now just has a big gap on Red Arrow here in M1K. SR Frame going to be looking to make the move on M1K here. M1K braking late, going to have the inside line, better line here through here. ASAP Loggy also going to be in the mix.
As we're making our way off the exit of turn 16, Frame is going to have the DRS. Is ASAP Loggy in the mood for maybe a 2-for-1 to go into turn 17? He's got the DRS. He's not really closing up as strong as he'd like. He might get a move on M1K. No, he will not, but he gets into the back of him. And he has he has front wing damage now off the exit of turn 17. And he's going to jump into pit lane to get that front wing replaced.
That's really unfortunate. I was on board right there. I'd have to see it again. Maybe M1K moved over and then he moved back, maybe just slightly after he was braking, but it's definitely probably going to go to the stewards there to see what happens there. I didn't see any damage on the wing, but I think Did you see like a end plate or something come off right there?
Yeah, he had a end plate come off.
Gotcha. Looks like we have a yellow flag of the Alpine Angel going to be locking up and going off into the runoff there. Going to be spinning into the wall, losing maybe a piece of his wing right there. Now he's going to keep it going. Back to Nick AC. Red Arrow actually has caught up to Nick AC here. Wonder Nick AC maybe had a little moment there as he is on the better tires than Red Arrow. Looking back down the field, looks like Chipman is going to be making the move on Grew here. Have the DRS open. Going to get the move done before the corner. Good move by him, making his way up the field to P7. Going to be chasing down Paul. As Grew actually jumps into the pits, looking to take those tires, whatever he goes on there to the end, as Pablo jumps up to P9. Going to be making his way through the field on those new mediums, still in the fresh air.
Yeah, the field is pretty spread out right now. We don't have any battles going on in the time being. But I am keeping an eye on Pablo as he has ticked 8 tenths off already to Gustavo in front of him for the P8 position. So he's really putting on the charge to get back after the Mercedes and hopefully put himself back into a podium position. He's definitely a car to watch out for.
Yeah, I want to see what it is, how far back he is to the leader. He's about 17 seconds back from Nick AC here. I'm not sure how long a pit is here, but I'm pretty sure this pit lane is pretty short in time, probably around 22, 3-ish seconds, you'd say.
Yeah, it's got to be relatively that short. But Pablo is using DRS and he looked to the outside of Goose and is able to jump up into that P8 position, but it appears Red Arrow jumped into pit lane at this time as well, and he's going to put on a fresh set of medium tires, so he will definitely be able to get to the end as well.
Yeah, Zenke puts in the fastest lap there, and you can see Pablo not too far ahead of Red Arrow as you would like, only one spot on track behind him. About, what is that, about almost 4 and a bit seconds Pablo has on Red Arrow here. Pablo still has some nice clean air to make his way through the field, use his tires, and make up as much time to Nick as possible. M1K going to try and close into the back of SR Frame before he has to inevitably pit again. Oh, maybe locks up a little bit there. Maybe gets a warning. Be interesting to see if penalties come into play here later in this race.
Yeah, the only penalty inside the top 10 is going to be the 3 second time penalty to Zenke. So he's just going to want to make sure he keeps that gap over whoever is behind him as he is working his way through the field chasing after Red Arrow now.
Yeah, I might have to step out for like 2 minutes right here, just real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'll go on board with Pablo here as he makes his way through the field here. I'll be right back.
Yep. So Frame has dived into pit lane. He's also looking to change, but we are on board with Pablo making our through sector 1 of turn 3, and he is gonna head into turn 4. Only 1.2 seconds off the gearbox of Chipman, almost in within that 1 second range now, going into turn 8. Now going to get off the exit as it appears. Red Arrow did make a move on Gustavo and was able to get by him into the entrance of turn 8 as well. So now Pablo is within 1 second, chasing down Chipman. Heading towards turn 11, gonna get on the brakes all the way down to second gear, and he is within 6 tenths now. Into turn 14 of the chicane under the bridge. Is he going to get a good enough exit off the exit of 16 here to make a run down this long straight? Or is Chipman going to get the DRS to the car in front? I believe he does so. Yes, he does. And so doesn't Pablo. Now Chipman is looking to make a move on Paul and Hell, who's on that final podium step. Into turn 17 we go. No moves were made down to the inside. Chipman is looking on Paul as he's coming off the exit of turn 19. Using the DRS, gaining up to the gearbox of Paul and Hell. Down to the inside, side by side through turn 1. Chipman gives a little wheel tap. And here goes Pablo. Pablo's going to take advantage of the mistake and around the inside of turn 2. Pablo has moved up into the P4 position. Now looking to make a charge on Paul and Hell here as making our way through the S's of Sector 1 into the entrance of turn 8. You're going to have Pablo. He's 4 tenths off the back, burning a little bit of ERS. He's going to get the DRS here as we're making a run towards turn 11. He goes to the outside all the way down this long straight. He's going to complete the move well before the braking zone. And now he's up into a podium position with about 12 seconds or so off the gearbox of Nick AC30. Pablo sitting in that P3 position has a lot of work to make up. Paul in Hell is going to get the DRS to Pablo in front of him as we're heading down the long straight. In the meantime, Red Arrow, Chipman side by side into the braking zone of turn 17. Still side by side, and it appears Red Arrow gets off the exit of 17, and Chipman's going to dive into pit lane. So that's going to drop him through the field. Red Arrow's down to the inside of Paul and Hell looking into turn 1. And he's going to complete the move through the braking zone up into P4. And he's now putting on a charge heading after Pablo with only a 3-lap difference between tire compound or tire age. And Red Arrow on the medium, Pablo on the hard tire compound here. So we are going to have a race 2 heading down through the final 9 laps or so here in Miami. And you got Red Arrow in P4 using DRS to his advantage, heading down a long straight towards turn 11. He is closing up to the rear diffuser, not going to be close enough to make that move down the inside of turn 11. He's going to follow right back behind as we head into the horseshoe, up into the chicane of turn 14, into 15 now. Going to carry us onto this really tight left-hander. Try and get that throttle down as early as possible. And he's got a great exit. Red Arrow creeping up, using the slipstream to his advantage. Got the DRS wide open, not burning any ERS. Going to jump to the right-hand side of Pablo and completes the move into the braking zone. So Red Arrow up in P3 position on a set of medium tires. He is now going to be about 11 seconds off of the gearbox of Nick AC30 as Pablo's trying to stay within that DRS. Paul and Hell does go into pit lane. That allows SR Frame up into the P5 position with Zenke in P6. And I believe Paul and Hell does go on to soft tires as well. Drew here is looking to get off the exit of turn 1 and chase after Waffle Raptor as sitting about 2.4 seconds back, and he's looking to try and find some time.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm very sorry for leaving you. Yeah, you
Oh,
see,
good.
Red Arrow got ahead of Pablo. Was there any reason for that?
No, he just caught him and made the move.
Nice. I expected Pablo to hopefully stay with Red Arrow here because I mean, these you would expect these front two to pit again. I assume their tires have got to be absolutely cooking by now. Nick AC, though, might have just enough of a gap to not pit and stay out here and have the advantage still.
Doesn't have a gap to come out in front of anybody but maybe Frame. Um, as
Yeah, I'm just saying he might have enough
yeah.
of a gap to not pit and still
Oh,
be
yeah,
ahead.
make it to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's shown great pace again, going for the 4-peat here. 4 in a row, back to back to back to back. That will be definitely very amazing for Nick AC there. As it looks like Pablo dropped out of DRS range of Red Arrow here. And looks like, yeah, maybe the most Red Arrow can do to try and do damage control on his deficit to Nick AC in the championship is try and get second here. Still 7 laps to go here in this race. Still a long way. A lot of time for somebody to spin on old tires here and bring out a safety car.
Yeah, there's really nobody close battling throughout, but tires are now coming into play. Was the early stop a good move for the hard runners to take them to the end, or was the stop throughout the Grand Prix the better decision? As the gap from Red Arrow to M1K is actually decreasing, and it's also getting smaller to Nick AC, down to about 7 seconds here, as it was previously almost 12 seconds. So Red Arrow's definitely starting to find some time now, and he's looking to put on the charge heading towards Nick AC.
Yeah, Red Arrow just getting under 3 seconds right here with 6 laps to go in this race to M1K. M1K gonna try and hold on for dear life here. I'll bring up the tires for you guys so you guys see who's on what. Yeah, Nick AC and M1K both on 17 lap old hards. I didn't even realize Pablo was on hards. I thought Pablo was on the mediums, but 9 lap old for him, 6 lap old mediums for Red Arrow. SR Frame, 5 lap old mediums, going to be looking to pressure Pablo here for P4 in the later stages of this race. Looks like we have Chipman on the new softs, going to be looking to make the move on Gru here with DRS coming up on this back straight. I didn't even realize Zenke's had the penalty actually for a while. Our pole position sitter in 6th place right now, but does have a 3-second time penalty. Will go against him at the end of the race. Looks like he might be able to just pull ahead of Waffle though for it not to affect him. But Chipman gets the move done on Gru here. On those soft tires, gonna look to get him in their window and on track here.
Man,
Yeah,
where do we
top 2.
tune in?
Yeah, I'm just looking at SR Frame here. He is catching Pablo. Top 2 could be in punctured territory, Red Devil. I hope F124 has a graphic to where we could see tire wear for the cars. That would be really lovely. Looks like yellow flag. Easy 10, I believe. Yeah, easy 10 off the track. He did spin, though. No damage. Gonna stay out of the way of the leader right here, Nick AC. And SR Frame into the DRS of Pablo. Gonna be looking to maybe get the move here really close to him. Let's see if he makes the move. DRS gonna open right now. Gonna tuck into the slipstream, go around the outside. See how hard Pablo decides to defend this. SR Frame ahead as of now. Gets the move done into the territory. And safety car! Uh-oh. Looks like maybe Angel and Entree got into it. I think this really just hurt Nick AC's and M1 chances at a win. I think Red Arrow is honestly in the best position here. Because if they pit, I mean, they're at least going to drop down to P5, I think. Not a bad window, though. I think, yeah, Nick AC is going to stick it onto some softs. M1K is going to also dive into the pits. What does Red Arrow do? Do you stay out here? Would you stay out here?
No, I'd go in.
Really? I feel like, okay. I feel like after seeing that, like, if I was Pablo here and I saw everybody pit, I'd go in. But I think if I was Red Arrow, I think I might have stayed out.
Yeah, but you also don't want to get chewed up.
Oh,
Because
it
right
just
now everybody's on soft tires at this point behind him. So if he was to stay out, he'd end up getting chewed up on the grid pretty quickly.
yeah. Now it's gonna get really interesting. I think now Red Arrow or Nick has it. I think yeah. I think Nick has shown great pace. I think he's
I think after quali with how close the times would be, things could definitely probably get hairy here
yeah.
at the end of the Grand Prix.
I definitely forgot about that. I forgot how tight it was through quali. Only about like a tenth and a half between like the top four, I believe. Um, Here are the tires for everybody. Oh, Red Arrow doesn't have any fresh softs left. Red Arrow's P3 on mediums.
Hmm,
I think there
that's
would
gonna
be
hurt
about,
him.
yeah, 3, maybe 2-ish laps of racing left once the safety car decides to come in, with Angel being so far back. Um, Gustavo in 7th on 6-lap old mediums, Waffle fresh mediums. Paul has 4-lap old softs. His softs won't be hitting the same as everybody else. Yeah, unfortunately, Zenke gets a medium pit pen, so it's just going to get worse for him. Fortunately, our pole sitter might not even score points today. That just shows you how difficult and competitive this tier is. But, yeah, I think as of now, we do have 4 drivers, 4 constructors in the top 5, but Paul on those 4-lap old softs could drop out, allowing Pablo to get in there and have 5 constructors. Did you bet on the poll today?
I did not.
I believe I did cash the 5 constructors. I just, after looking at quality and how close everybody was, seeing the like 7 different teams in the top 7, I think I took 5. So we'll see if it hits. If not, hey, I had a good time watching the race. Looks like, yeah, everybody obviously has their battery all good. And I think safety car has to come in this lap, right? No matter what.
It should be potentially this lap. If not, it will be the next lap.
Let's see, we are coming up on where the safety car would call if it is coming in here in the next few corners. Giving the crowd a good show this week, I'd say. Good race from AM3, very, very clean for the most part. Only 1 driver out, which is actually very good. Only a few penalties. I actually thought there would be more considering it was Miami, and you can very easily stretch the track limits here. But yeah, good on AM3 today. Let's see if Nick AC can do better than the trifecta and go for the quadruple win. Safety car not gonna come in. Gonna be 1 more lap. So around 2 laps of racing here in Miami, Florida. Let's hope real life is this interesting. It gives me new hope that ever since Max retired, hopefully there's reliability issues for him every race.
Yeah.
Here we go, though. Entree going to be making his way to the back of the pack here. And, yeah,
Yeah,
we're going to go
safety car
racing
will
here.
be in this time as well, and there will be no DRS to the end of the
Ah,
Grand Prix, so
yeah.
things could get very interesting here.
I think they're hopefully M1K, Red Arrow. I mean, I think sadly Red Arrow could be out of contention for a podium here with those medium tires, but oh, Zenke's apparently gas pedal is broken, so might have to Zenke might have to retire due to mechanical issues. Unfortunate, just keeps getting worse for him. But here we go. Safety car will be in this lap. Everybody caught up to the field nice and good here. We'll go on board. Oh, and it looks like we actually have a Ferrari. I didn't even realize that. We have a lapped car here in between Nick AC and M1K. Hopefully he gets out of the way and doesn't lose M1K or the cars behind any time to Nick AC here. Here we go. Nick AC going right now, and he's gonna have to. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, because M1K is gonna get a. Wow. That's very unfortunate, but that's racing. But M1K has some ground to make up here. 1.6 seconds to the car in front. Red Arrow going to be trying to stay close. SR Frame on those softs going to try and pass Red Arrow here. Pablo gets the move done on Paul. Paul gets a 3-second time penalty late in this race. With about one lap to go, let's see how far that'll drop him. Looks like maybe only 1 or 2 spots as of now. Paul gonna still hope to get some good points here. Looks like SR Frame right on the back of Red Arrow here for the last podium spot. M1K 1.8 seconds to make up here on this last lap to try and go for the win, or else Nick AC is going to get 4 in a row. Well, SR Frame down into turn 1, going to try and brake late, has the better tires than the mediums. Yellow flag, and Zenke is going to retire the car for mechanical issues here into the pits. But here we go, no DRS, just back straight, here we come. SR Frame right on the back of Red Arrow here. Can he get it done? Red Arrow ran wide! Oh, and that's just absolutely horrible for Red Arrow here. Gonna be maybe getting a podium and just puts it into the outside wall. And yeah, SR Frame's gonna take home P3 here as long as nothing crazy happens. And I think with Paul's penalty, it will drop him out of the top 5, meaning 5 constructors will be in the top 5. Let's see. M1K has brought it home just a little bit closer. And Paul spins it around in the tight section, loses his wing, and then loses his wheel trying to turn around. Unbelievable. The Mercedes get good points. And oh my, Angel. Sorry, we'll go to Nick AC. Going to be bringing it home to the line for the fourth race in a row. Win for Nick AC. M1K bringing it third. SR Frame P3. Pablo close behind. And Angel going to be bringing home the first points for Alpine this season. In P10, going to bring home a point. To the line, gets it done. Points for Alpine.
Yeah, what a very interesting final few laps there. A lot of movement going on throughout the grid, and then quite a bit of DNFs on the final lap from some costly mistakes. That is something Miami will do to everybody on circuit. But yeah, there you have it. That was your AM3 here in Miami. We got Nick AC on top with M1K in P2, SR Frame in P3, Pablo 4th, Waffle 5th, Gru 6th, ASAP Loggy 7th, Crisp Zip 8th, Gustavo 9th, Angel 10th, Witjay 11th, 12th is Electric Entree, 13th is Schiffman, Paul and Howell 14th, Red Arrow 15th, Easy 10 16th, 17th is Zenki, and 8th is Churro.
Yeah, I just saw in the chat, Zenki said he had a lot of reports to make, so maybe some moving around later on in the race. We'll have to see what the stewards say later on, but let's see if we can get our podium positions in here. Nick AC, M1K, and SR Frame. Nick AC is really getting to know us in here, huh?
In the meantime, I'm gonna let you do these podium interviews. I'm gonna go eat dinner and go to bed because I gotta get up in like 6 hours. So
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining, Johnny.
absolutely. Have a good night, guys.
All right, let's see if I can get the guys in here. Let's see if anybody wants to join me tonight. If not, there we go. Looks like we got one. That's all we get. I'll take it. We'll wait just a little bit longer to see if anybody else joins up. All right, I guess we'll just start with SR Frame since he is the only one. Oh, here we go. Nick, yeah, we'll still start with SR Frame though. Congratulations on the third place finish. Obviously a rough last lap for Red Arrow right there, clipping the wall, trying to get a good exit to stay away from you there. What was going through your head on that last lap?
Honestly, I give props to Red Arrow. He was good at defending on that second to last lap, but that left hander took the corner a little too wide, clipped it, and I got wing damage on the from that incident. But
You got wing
luckily,
damage from it?
yeah, I managed to get
Wow.
wing damage.
Well, good on you for finishing in home P3. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Were you in? Was there like a lot of carnage going around you? Was it hard to keep it clean through the entire race?
It was trying to get back through the pack, especially at the start where in we almost went three wide on turn one, and luckily that got squared away real quick. But other than that, it was just getting up the field as quickly as possible and trying to get as clean as possible.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your P3, and it'll probably jump you up pretty good in the standings there. So hope to see you in here next week. Uh, moving on, Nick AC, our winner for the fourth week in a row. Congratulations. That's just crazy to even think about. But how was it? How was the race for you? How did everything go?
It was actually pretty smooth. I thought about starting on the softs actually because I felt like there'd be a safety car early, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered after we all bunched up. But I will say that hard stint in like that long middle park portion of the race was probably one of the hardest stints I've ever done. So I was really just trying to keep SR frame like at least 3 seconds behind me and save up that battery. So yeah, it was good. Not too much fighting, and it was clean all in front of me, so it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, I just had one more question. How were those hards like you were saying there at the end? Like, do you know what they were on right there? I assume your tires had to have been pretty old right there.
I was up to like either 30 and 40 in the front rear or 40 and 50 is one of the two. But it wouldn't have made a difference either way. It was so hard to drive, especially that left-hander that I guess Red Arrow went wide on.
Yeah.
That gave me a lot of trouble. I was losing hints to the guy behind when it was just tough. No traction.
Yeah, what was going through your head when that safety car came out? Were you like, "Oh no," or were you confident with it?
It's a situation I've been in 3 out of these 4 wins with safety cars. So like I was just like, oh, it just couldn't have been. It couldn't have been normal. But honestly, it made the end easier for me because I got to save up all that pack during the safety car and on fresh softs, I could just kind of push and hopefully Frame and Red Arrow would fight behind me. So
Yeah, well, congratulations on your fourth win in a row. Really taking a commanding lead in the championship, especially with Red Arrow crashing out on the final lap there. But yeah, that's all I got. Maybe go for the five, Pete.
yeah, man, I might have to. Why not?
Yeah, why not? But that's all I got for you. Thank you, everybody, joining into the stream tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week at the same time at 9 p.m. EST. As always, signing off. See you guys next week. Peace out.